Hello folks, welcome to today's video. App free, drama free. That Bluetti EB240. Going back some years now. That's my first ever power station that I got nearly 3 years ago. And the reason I got it is because, you see, I'm sat in my van and I bought this van. And I thought, right, while I've got this van, what I'm going to do is a little bit of a conversion in the back. You can see some of it here. There's a bit of a unit here and a bit of a kitchen and whatnot, and a bed goes down there. And I can go out up to the Lake District or Scotland or whatever and stay out a couple of nights. So I thought, right, I've got to get one of these. And about 3 years ago, looking at reviews on YouTube, and one of the most famous reviewers still to this day, Goatee Beard, Crazy Cat, guy called Hobotech, was talking an awful lot at that time about these things. And I watched some other reviews as well and decided that's the one I'm going to have. He said on his review, towards the end of it, he didn't really like the colour. Anybody that's got one of these, 9 times out of 10, the casing is a baby blue and these ends are white plastic. Might be just my opinion, but they look pretty horrific. And I thought, would it not look a lot smarter in black? And instead of buying one of these on Amazon, I think they were £2,500 at the time, UK, £2,500 or thereabouts. I thought, right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start keeping a few of these things in stock and moving them on to end users, having a little bit of a dipping my toe in that and seeing if there's a market for it. So what I did is contacted the factory direct, found the factory in China, Shenzhen Power Oak, and said to them, I'd like to buy some of these for the UK market. Is there any chance I could get them in black? And all the reviewers were saying, it's a shame you can't get black ones, this horrible baby blue, you'll just have to put up with it. I asked the question at the factory and the immediate response was, certainly sir, we can do one called the Black Edition. There, look. So I think the problem was not that you couldn't get it, it's just that all the people that were stocking it didn't ask that question. Now the other question I asked, because all the reviewers at that time were based, or the main ones based in America, were all talking about the brand Bluetti. Now in the UK it's not branded as that, it's branded as Power Oak. So they said, yeah, certainly sir, we'll make you black cases, blah blah blah, and we'll send them out to you and it's going to say Power Oak on the side. I said, oh, I don't want that. What I'd like it to say, so that it matches all the reviews, I know it's an American brand, but I'd like it to say Bluetti on the side, but be UK spec'd. And they said, yeah, fine, not a problem. And there it is, the black edition with the Bluetti logo down the side there. As I say, I bought that about, oh crikey, 2.5, maybe 3 years ago. And it's been in the van ever since. Now, I've done about 60,000 miles in the van. That's never come out of it, so it's suffered all the potholes, it's suffered all the ruts in the road, and it's never ever ever put a foot wrong. Still to this day works beautifully, and I know it's old tech and whatnot and it can only put 1,000 watts AC out, but what an absolute trooper that thing is. Absolutely superb. And that's sort of going into the title of the video, no app and no drama. It's more basic tech. Do I sound like a grumpy old man if I'm going to say I'm not the biggest fan of clever tech? I've seen it at work. Where I work, they've given us an app to use, which is now about a year old. Still to this day, it doesn't work properly. I see apps on my phone that are glitchy and don't work properly. And most of the mainstream companies at the minute that produce these things seem to be going down the route of it's going to have an app on it, it's going to have touch screens and this, that and the other. And looking back on the forums as these things have been developed, and this is not just my opinion, you've only got to have a look. Look how many people have shouted up and said, I'm having problems with it. It's giving me grief. I can't get this to work. This has gone wonky. I need new firmware. I need new software, whatever the case may be. Why won't it work properly? Why does it keep doing this? My opinion is there's too much tech on it. Look at that thing. It's the basics. It's nearly 3 years old. It's used every single day, and it's never ever gone wrong. And I always think that the way that I use that, I mean, you know, you guys might use these different. In the van, I'm up in Scotland for a weekend. I power things off it: toaster, fridge, sandwich toaster, etc. Charge my phones, charge my laptops, which is what that thing is supposed to do. It was designed to gather energy when you charge it, to store that energy until you want to use it, and then to deliver that energy when you want to cook or charge things. That's its purpose in life. That's what it's supposed to do. And I'm thinking, well, why does it need an app to do that? Now, you could say that has got an app, and there it is. That's my app for this, and all I've got to do when I want to use this, there's a power button there. Press the power button, press the AC button, press the DC button, and it's turned on. And people are going to say, well, yeah, but you can't see whether your batteries are balanced. No, I can't. Or you know, are all your cells balanced? The app would show you that. And I'm just kind of thinking, all right, well, let's say I could see that, and my cells are not balanced. What am I going to do then? Why do I need to know that? It either works or it doesn't work. But old tech, I found works. Now, I noticed Bluetti have gone down that route, and all this new AC series and all that. I mean, none of these things suit for me, because I do like the slim form factor of that thing. I'm also, you probably know, a big fan of Montec, massive fan of Montec. Again, a nice thin form factor on those units. They slide behind a car seat. They slide into tiny little gaps where these square lumps. I'd have a hell of a job finding somewhere for example, an AC200 to fit in here. It just wouldn't tuck away anywhere. So that's another reason why perhaps I like the older ones. But you've only got to look on the forums and during development of these things, and people were saying, oh, you know, I'm getting glitches with this and I'm getting glitches with that, and oh, this has got to be updated and it's got to have a patch and it's got to have new software. I don't get any of that grief with that. I don't get any of that grief with my Montec X1000. It's got a power switch, and I use this to turn it on and off. And now, even this day, I mean, I was thinking about getting a really huge unit made by a company. I'm not telling you who it is, but it begins with Z and ends in Endure. Made a fabulous looking piece of kit. But again, you look on the forums, the grief that people are having at the minute. Oh, this is shut down, this is not working properly, and it's all to do with the app. What is wrong with a power switch? I don't know. Maybe it's just me, old school, I don't know. But I tend to find the old stuff works. But yeah, what I think, you know, perhaps these big companies, they seem to be sending these products out half done, half developed. But why should the end users suffer? Why not make sure it's perfect before these things go out, instead of constantly sending updates and we'll figure out some new software to try and make it work again? I don't want that. If I'm wild camping in Scotland, the last thing I want is to be faffing around on my phone and get some error code jumping up or whatever. I press the power button on that and it turns on and it does what I want it to do. But I really do think that they ought to be thinking, you know, let's make sure these things are perfected before they go out to the market. Maybe that's just me, I don't know, but that's the thought for today. Can't beat one of them things. I'd still buy one today. I know they've been discontinued, but if I didn't have that one, I'd go out and buy one of them all day long. Cheers.